Here's a fun one. So something I'm integrating right now, but it's becoming like a full, all body, spirit, mind, nervous system, all the things kind of experience, is a level of real-time self-forgiveness. And honestly, I think this is practical. It's useful for somebody because it doesn't have to be relevant to a relationship or a particular scenario or problem. I'll use my real life as an example, but the aha moment for me is it's about how this is an example of where I need to forgive myself so that others will inevitably reflect that sort of grace and compassion back to me, but it's got to start with me. So in my real-time example, recently over the last couple weeks, I've been feeling prickly, edgy, funky, out of balance, out of alignment, both with myself and with people around me. And what I've realized is that I feel this immense pressure to not go off the rails, like to not have energetic disturbance, whether that's through emotions or not regulated or not aligned. I not only feel that pressure from others, but I give myself a ton of that pressure because I worry that in my emotionality, in my waves, in my temper tantrums, so to speak, that there will be problems that are not forgivable or damage that cannot be repaired. I don't want damage to begin with, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm forbidding myself to experience my humanity because in that humanity, ruckus could be caused. And what I kind of needed to realize is that other people really aren't putting that much pressure on me about that. They may not like it. They may be uncomfortable in my funkiness or in my out of sortsness or in my, little temper tantrums or, mouthing off about, hey, I'm feeling some kind of way about this and I need you to know about it. But I needed to come to the awareness that the deep belief, I needed to come to the embodiment that I am not doing anyone irreparable damage by having emotions, by feeling angry, by feeling out of sorts, by being sad, by being moody, you know what I mean, for lack of a better word, because their experience of me is something that they signed up to experience. They signed up to be triggered by it, be woken up by it, whatever it is, or be unfazed by it, whatever, or be there in presence with me for it. But in my pursuit of needing to get it right, whether that comes from an ego perspective, a upbringing perspective, a spiritual perspective, in my continual pursuit to crush it, comes this fear of, if I have emotions, if I have waves, if I have imbalances, I'm going to jack it up and then I'm going to go backwards, or I'm not going to be able to fix it, or I'm going to be, 10 steps back. And I needed the reminder recently that that's just not true. That's not reality because of the belief system I hold, which is that I'm always in progress. Things are always working out for me. I'm always on my way to the next better version of me. And that's a continual unfolding that gets to look whatever way it needs to look, whether that's messy or not. And anyone in and around my vicinity is in contract to experience that with me. If you're a person that understands or believes in soul contracts, then you believe that, your inevitable exchange, there's always something there for the exchange for both of you. And so I needed to circling back here, I needed to give myself permission to have humanity, to get emotional, to cry, to be super pissed about something, to not be on my A game for, I feel like it's been 2-3 weeks now. My ego says, oh no, that's not acceptable. You can't be off your A game for that long. You can't be out of sorts that long because 1, stuff could go wrong. 2, you got stuff to do. You got important things to do and you don't have time to waste. And in actuality, hopefully someone in this listening vicinity is remembering with me that you get to be out of sorts for as long as you freaking need to be. If that's 2 days, if that's 2 weeks, if that's 2 months, if that's 2 years, you get to, because as long as you're in process and you are under the belief system that I am always in process and I'm always not only a masterpiece, but a work in progress at the same time, like I'm always on my way, yet still perfectly great right here, then there is no such thing as time lost or time wasted. And that, for me, is a really hard concept to wrap my head around. But there is forgiveness here. There is forgiveness for myself there is no such thing as wasted time or stepping backwards because things aren't going right or because things aren't as connected between me and others as I wish they would be. And I needed a huge hug for myself recently of hey, not only do you get to be okay in this funkiness, but everyone around you is going to be just fine because you're not hurting anything or anyone. And confirmation from other aspects of my life going on. When you're hitting these funky points, that usually means you're on the precipice or the doorstep of a new level, a new way of existence, a new timeline, things like that. And so, of course, it's going to feel uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. So whether you're having temper tantrums because your nervous system's uncomfortable and you can't figure it out, so your body just finds something to blame it on, like someone or something, you're meant to be a little out of sorts as you step into the next phase, the next level, and that gets to be okay. So I hope somebody out there heard today, you're welcome, that it gets to be okay, that there is discomfort in the edge of leveling up. It gets to be okay that you're out of sorts, you're out of alignment, you're not all the things wonderful, perfectly sovereign, magical right now, and so will everyone else. And so you get forgiveness for that, you get grace and compassion for that, so does everyone else in the vicinity, because it's all going to be fine.